What's good, fam? Drake just set $1 million on fire faster than most people skip a track, and it looks like his only real win lately is becoming the biggest liability in sports history. On July 16th of 2026, he decided to put a massive stack of cash behind Conor McGregor at UFC 329. We all saw the disaster because the fight against Max Holloway ended in the first few seconds, with McGregor taking a brutal loss. Social media wasted no time bringing that Drake curse back from the grave, and the internet is letting him have it. This is more than just a rapper losing pocket change on a betting app, because it shows a major shift in how the culture sees his brand.
Maybe Drake should have done his research, but we doubt it would have helped. Drake's curse is way too strong to be broken by science alone. It's a force on its own, intent on making him lose all his hard-earned money.
So I'm sure a lot of people have a lot of different reasons for why they think this is a proper lawsuit, but at the end of the day, it looks like Drake is suing because he lost. He looks like a sore loser.
Alex had the title and Drake had lost $2 million in a span of 3 minutes. But that's the thrill of the game, right? Something tells us this is not going to stop Drake from risking it all again.
He used to be the man who only stood next to champions, but now his support feels like a kiss of death for any athlete he touches. Seeing him lose that much money while his pick gets destroyed in record time makes him look totally out of touch with his own image. It is getting hard to take his talk seriously when every public move he makes ends with him looking like a jinx for everyone involved. Fans are pointing out that this defeat proves he is a liability, and that aura of being untouchable is basically in the trash. If the sports betting mess was not enough to make the OVO camp sweat, his personal life just took another hit he really could not afford.
I will tell you, I'll say this.
I can't imagine the things that we don't know of.
It's not that many.
Liar.
It's not like that.
Between July 12th and July the 13th of 2026, Drake was spotted in Toronto partying with a 19-year-old model named Alice Rosenblum. Critics on X and Reddit went for the jugular because they noticed the 19-year age gap between a 38-year-old man and a teenager who can barely vote. This situation brought back every uncomfortable conversation from the Kendrick-Lamar feud that he has been trying to bury for 2 years. Even though Rosenblum released a statement through TMZ on July 16th to deny any romance and said she was with her partner John, the damage is already done.
But it was with this 100 Gigs project where we started to see, did Kendrick actually damage Drake's career? Is that beef affecting how people view Drake's musical output?
Facts do not matter as much when you are already fighting a reputation for being creepy and hanging around girls who could be your children. This was a massive failure in judgment for someone who should be distancing himself from those specific allegations after getting cooked on a global stage. Drake thinks he can outwealth the bad press, but these constant failures make him look like he has zero self-awareness. He is hanging out with people who were toddlers when his first mixtape dropped, and it makes his Big Brother routine with younger artists feel a lot more sinister. Drake is officially living in his participation trophy era as we move through 2026, and this fall from grace is getting harder to watch every day.
But it was with this 100 Gigs project where we started to see, did Kendrick actually damage Drake's career? Is that beef affecting how people view Drake's musical output? I think Drake really does not know which way to go right now, and I think he's lost a little bit of his confidence. I'm just interested to see what direction he takes.
Even if he keeps dropping triple albums to inflate his streaming numbers, he cannot buy back the cultural respect he lost because the desperation is starting to show. Kendrick Lamar really did a number on him during that battle, and Drake has not recovered since his image as the untouchable king of the hill was completely dismantled. The world is looking at a middle-aged man who loses $1 million bets on a random Tuesday and hangs with teenagers while trying to sue his way back to the top. Watching a legend spiral like this is honestly nasty work, especially since he keeps repeating the same mistakes without realizing how much public perception has shifted against him. Nobody is afraid of the OVO camp anymore, and fans definitely are not checking for his opinion on what is cool because his judgment is clearly cooked.
Maybe Drake should have done his research, but we doubt it would have helped. Drake's curse is way too strong to be broken by science alone. It's a force on its own, intent on making him lose all his hard-earned money. Drake is known for making bops every year, but when he is not in the studio, he's on stake.com, spending his cash on every game imaginable. This past weekend, he posted a story on his Instagram about betting in the UFC.
Whether he is betting on the UFC or picking his squad in the club, he consistently lands on the losing side while still expecting everyone to call him the greatest. The industry is finally treating him like a legacy act who is just famous for being famous, rather than the superstar who actually moves the needle for the culture. Every time he tries to prove he is still that guy, he just provides more evidence that his run is over and he is just chasing his past success. That $1 million gambling loss and the constant drama with teen models are just 2 more bricks in the wall, closing in on his reputation. Drake is fighting a war on multiple fronts and losing every single battle because he refuses to grow up and face the facts of his new reality.
I don't think he knows what to do. His rap songs are not hitting. I'm saying rap songs because the Party Next Door album, that did have some hits. And I think he's kind of questioning himself a little bit, you know.
We are witnessing the systematic dismantling of a superstar in real time, and it is wild to see how fast the wheels are coming off the wagon. You need to stay tuned because this situation is getting weirder and the receipts are piling up in a way that he will not be able to ignore much longer. The disrespect is reaching the professional ranks now, and it is clear that his industry brothers are not moving on his schedule anymore. DJ Khaled was supposed to drop his 14th studio album called Lamb of God on July 17th of 2026, but that day passed with nothing but total silence. This project is stuck in limbo, and that is a massive red flag for Drake because we all know Khaled never misses a chance to scream about a new anthem.
Born to a white Jewish mom, Drake spent much of his early years growing up in Toronto, a place he still proudly calls home.
And what did Toronto represent for you at the time?
Back in February of 2025, Drake was publicly mocking Khaled for announcing a collaboration and joked the song was probably with Drake Bell instead of him. That arrogance is coming back to haunt him now because Khaled is the ultimate barometer for what is actually moving in the music industry. When the man who lives for major rollouts refuses to drop a project featuring Drake, it tells you everything you need to know about his current lack of leverage. It looks like a deeper rift is forming, or maybe Khaled just realizes a Drake feature is not the automatic #1 hit it used to be. This failed rollout signals that the OVO stimulus package is out of funds, and nobody is rushing to get a verse that brings more drama than streams. Drake used to be the guy who could move an entire album cycle just by showing up, but now he cannot even get Khaled to hit the upload button on time.
I'm just addicted to it.
Why?
I think that I've sacrificed so much for it already and dedicated so much of my time that I have to push it as far as I possibly can.
This delay suggests the industry is treating Drake like a secondary character in his own movie, and that is a level of humiliation he is not used to facing. Before we move on and see how Drake just caught a world-class rejection in his own city, tell me what y'all think. Is that OVO stimulus package officially bankrupt, or is Khaled just moving smart? Let me know in the comments. No cap. While you at it, hit that like and subscribe button. Let's get back into it. The most humiliating part of this downward spiral is definitely the situation with the 2026 FIFA World Cup, mostly because that rejection hits harder when it happens in your own city. Even though everyone in Toronto assumed the self-proclaimed king would headline the show, the official halftime lineup completely excluded him. Madonna, Shakira, and BTS were the names announced back in June of 2026, which left Drake on the sidelines looking in at his own backyard. This hurts even more because the betting markets on Polymarket gave him a 58% chance of headlining since the tournament is literally being played in his home country.
Born to a white Jewish mom, Drake spent much of his early years growing up in Toronto, a place he still proudly calls home.
And what did Toronto represent for you at the time?
We found out later that a parody account on social media sparked those performance rumors, and that makes the reality of this snub feel 10 times more pathetic. People were so desperate to see him win that they fell for a fake post, but the actual organizers chose a pop legend and a global superstar instead of the local hero. This exclusion serves as the ultimate proof that his triple album, Iceman Doing Numbers, does not make him the default choice for global representation anymore. FIFA clearly wanted to avoid the baggage and the litigation that follows the Drake brand in 2026, so they went with artists who have a clean global reach. Getting skipped over for a massive event in your own city is a cultural eviction that you cannot just ignore or try to post your way out of. It shows that the gatekeepers of these major stages view him as a liability rather than an asset, which is a terrifying spot for someone who calls himself a global icon. The industry he thought he owned is systematically dismantling him, and he is starting to realize that his star power has finally hit a ceiling.
He dumps 100 gigabytes on us, which is literally 100 gigabytes of unreleased music, studio clips, B-roll.
The fact that a parody account was the only place he was actually winning shows exactly how far the narrative has moved away from his reality. He is no longer the man of the hour. and the world is moving toward artists who do not bring a courtroom drama to every single performance. Even with the project like Iceman sitting on the charts, the boy is learning that numbers do not buy you a seat at the table once the world decides your brand is toxic. This represents a massive shift in his global standing that we have never seen before, and it marks the official end of his run as the undisputed face of Toronto music. Critics are accurately pointing out that the May 2026 triple album featuring Iceman and Maid of Honor failed to reset his reputation despite the high chart positions. The culture is seeing right through those numbers because it feels like a desperate attempt to flood the zone with quantity to distract us from the soul he lost in the beef.
He dumps 100 gigabytes on us, which is literally 100 gigabytes of unreleased music, studio clips, B-roll.
Drake is currently trapped in his litigant phase, suing Universal Music Group and Spotify over the success of Not Like Us, while alleging streaming fraud against his enemies. It is nasty work to see him crying about fake streams when he is also facing a RICO class action involving Aiden Ross and allegations of bot engagement. The industry is starting to treat his achievements as artificial, and I predict he will spend the rest of 2026 fighting in courtrooms instead of making music people actually want to hear. This entire year has been a masterclass in losing respect while you still have a massive pile of money in the bank. You can place million-dollar bets and drop triple albums all you want, but those are just participation trophies when the people at the top are no longer afraid of your influence. From the executives at FIFA to his own peers like DJ Khaled, the world is showing us that Drake no longer has the power to bully the room. He has officially entered his Legacy Act era where he is famous for what he used to do rather than being the person who moves the needle today. Kendrick Lamar winning in 2024 was not just a temporary moment for the history books, it was a permanent cultural eviction that Drake will never recover from. Tell me what you think about whether Drake is officially a legacy act or if he can actually buy his way back into being relevant. Drop your thoughts in the comments. No cap. While you are at it, like and subscribe. We are out.